Entertainment World Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 5, and my thoughts on this episode. I thought it was a really good episode, strong story, strong characters, and it didn't piss me off, basically. I enjoyed the returning characters, especially one in particular, especially this episode. Um, it does show me that the people writing the Book of Boba Fett are having problems with Boba Fett, because in this episode a returning character has more respect than, well, they show him more respect than they show Boba Fett, which is unfortunate to me. This episode pisses me off because they respect this character that they bring back. They show him as the badass he is, and I have no idea. This episode just feels more like Star Wars. It feels more respected than the previous Boba Fett episodes, which is fucking annoying to me. Again, it's a great episode. I loved it. But it pisses me off that the returning character they bring back is shown so much respect. They don't try to make him a different character. And all throughout Boba Fett's other episodes, they keep trying to change Boba Fett. And it's fucking annoying me. But yes, this episode was great. I love the fact it was a longer episode. It didn't feel rushed. We got plenty of story. We got plenty of story. We got plenty of lore that it was fun to see. I also enjoyed the Easter eggs we got. But my problem is, this episode shows the weakness of all the previous episodes, unfortunately. I want to go into spoilers now because I can't really go into more detail without spoiling major plots. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, leave now. But great episode. If you haven't watched this, go watch it. But spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this episode was not a Boba Fett episode. It was a Mandalorian episode. And it was a great episode. And I've said before, they respect Mando. They do. This episode proves it. They don't try to change his character. He's a badass. It's that simple. Okay? It was great to see him come back, and it was great to see the respect that they try to show in this episode to prequel fans like me. Because at the end of this episode, they bring back a fighter, which makes no sense, but you can see what they're doing. You know, they're trying to give respect to prequel fans. Because, I don't know, Favreau, Filoni, whoever wrote this episode, it did show that they're trying to, you know, a little bit of respect to the prequel fans. I enjoyed that. So the episode starts off with Mando hunting a bounty, and he goes to this meat fridge place where his bounty is. He kills a bunch of pig guys and then cuts the head off the bounty he's been there to get. I didn't really enjoy the meat locker place. I would prefer it to be more Star Wars, because it felt more like an Earth place. And again, it's supposed to be a galaxy far, far away. If you're going to do in a meat locker or a meat fridge, could you have like different creatures, alien stuff? It just felt like they just went to a meat locker in America and they just filmed the scene there, and it doesn't feel Star Wars to me. But Mando did feel like Mando. He was a badass, and it was great to see something that is lost in Star Wars. Something that pissed me off in Star Wars for a long time. The fact they show that you don't just give anybody a fucking lightsaber, because Boba Fett uses the Darksaber and ends up cutting his leg with it. Because again, in Star Wars, it seems like everybody can just grab a lightsaber and use it, when that's obviously bullshit. Okay, I love the fact that he cut himself with this, because again, he doesn't understand the weapon. And it was a great thing to add to the scene. So Boba Fett takes his bounty to some party where he wants to find some information about... Well, I'm not really sure what the information he was trying to find out about, but I think it was to find out where his clan is. So he gets that information, he heads to where his clan is. He meets back up with the Forger, and he tells the Forger what's happened to him and what he's done with Grogu. He then tells her about the fact that he's got the Darksaber, and this kind of interests the other Mandalorian there with the Forger. It turns out he's a family member of the person who created the Darksaber. And then we get the backstory about what happened to Mandalore, about the fact the Empire blew up Mandalore, killed a bunch of Mandalorians, and we then get more backstory to the tribe, to the clan that he's with, who were on the moon planet of Mandalore. That's how they were able to escape the Empire's war, or at least the genocide that the Empire was trying to do to the Mandalorians. We do get Bo-Katan brought up, because at the end of Mandalore Season 2, she was supposed to try and grab the Darksaber from Mando, and then Mando doesn't really explain how he got out of that, which is kind of funny to me, because again, the Darksaber is the person who's going to lead Mandalore and rebuild Mandalore. So why Bo-Katan didn't at that second try to fight Mando for the Darksaber, it is kind of weird. I would have preferred if they explained more about it, but you know, it was a good scene nonetheless to hear this backstory about the Darksaber, and to find out about what happened to Mandalore after Rebels, because that was the last time we heard about Mandalore. So in the next scene, we see the Forger training with with Mando how to use the Darksaber. And this scene pisses me off, because how the fuck is it everybody else can fucking train, but Rey couldn't? They couldn't put a fucking scene with Rey getting decent training, but they can with Mando. It's a fucking annoying now, the amount of people that are getting trained. I mean, you can at least say this about fucking Lucasfilm. They may be listening now. They may be listening to the problems we've had for years. So they've just got to catch up. I mean, it's just dumb. It's a fact that I like the fact that the Forger's training Mando to use a Darksaber. I like that. But it just pisses me off about previous Star Wars films that they just couldn't take a fucking second to train people. It's just that annoying. So Mando's training with the Darksaber. Then the other Mando, who is fucking voiced by Favreau. I mean, let's be honest. That is Favreau in that suit. So Favreau's character wants the Darksaber for himself, because it is the saber that leads the Mandalorians, and he challenges he challenges Mando for the Darksaber. So he accepts the challenge. They have a fight. Mando wins the fight, but the Forger asks the important question: have you taken your helmet off? And the other Mando says no, but Mando has to say yes, because he has in fact taken his helmet off, and so he is expelled from the tribe, or he's expelled from the Mando's group. Which again, it's stupid, because this has never been a fucking rule in the Mando culture, because we've seen the Mando fucking culture, and every single fucking one of them takes off their bloody helmets. So I do hate this. And again, if they would explain it's just this particular group of Mandos who does this, that would be fine. But they keep saying this is like all Mando's rules. Like every Mandalorian follows his rules. Even though Bo-Katan didn't say that. It's just an annoying rule they don't need to have in Star Wars. But they do, so fuck it. So Mando's expelled from the group. He's then told by the Forger that the only way to come back to this group, he has to go to the Caves of Mandalore and do some sort of challenge there to get to be given right to come back to the group. And so he heads off, gets in the transport. Oh, there is a funny scene with the transport where Mando has to take off all of his weapons because he can't go on a commercial ship with weapons. It was funny, but again, it does feel like they're trying to make the Star Wars universe too much like Earth. And again, I think Mando should have been allowed to have his weapons on the ship. It is a Star Wars universe. Everybody has a blaster. Everybody has a weapon of some kind. I mean, it did kind of seem dumb to me. But Mando complies, gives over his weapons. He goes on the ship. He has a weird scene with a kid. And then they go to, where else? Tatooine, where he's meeting up with the mechanic woman because she's gotten him a new ship. And he thinks it's a new Razor Crest, but it turns out to be a Naboo fighter. Now again, I love the fact they brought back the Naboo fighter. It looks great. The scenes with the Naboo fighter in this episode look amazing. I mean, it's the greatest starfighter scenes I think I've seen for a very long time. Problem with this is, one, it's a fighter, and not Boba Fett, and Mando's a bounty hunter, so where the fuck he's supposed to put the bounty if he catches the bounty? And two, Mando has no connection to the prequels. Well, not a big one. So, of all the ships to put in this episode that Mando could get, why the Naboo starfighter? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I get it. They're trying to show respect to prequel fans, and I am very thankful for it. But it doesn't make sense. It's a fighter, he's a bounty hunter, he needs a ship. He needs the Slave One kind of ship. He needs a Razor Crest kind of ship. It just doesn't... Again, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So Mando's kind of annoyed that he didn't get another Razor Crest or something, well, a bigger ship. He's just been given an old fighter, and the mechanic tries to make excuses for it, try to say it's going to be this big badass thing, and he's just got to give it time. And he does end up paying for the ship, and he ends up and building the ship with the mechanic. And then we get a weird scene with Jawas, and this is one thing I'm starting to hate in the Filoni-Favreau universe. People talking in the dialects of aliens. You've got to stop doing that. In Star Wars, people just talk to the other races normally. They didn't copy them. You didn't need to have and we've had this a couple of times now. We've had it with Mando talking to the Sand people in their own accents, which was stupid. We've had it in the Solo movie when Solo talked fucking Wookiee. Again, you just don't need to do this. Just talk English to them. It's not that difficult. And it's fucking annoying to hear a fucking actor try to do a Jawa voice. It's just dumb. So, the mechanic tells Mando, that the Jawas can get any sort of equipment he needs for the fighter to make it this massive thing. Not massive. To make it this epic ship. Mando agrees. He tells the Jawas what he needs, and they end up going to go get it. We also get a nice Easter egg with BD, which is from the Fallen Order game. I think a lot of people are going to say this is proof that Carl Kestis survived, but I don't think so. I mean, this could be any BD droid, and again, it would break canon that more Jedi survived the Purge. Again, Luke Skywalker was supposed to be the last Jedi. No, I mean, he was supposed to be the last Jedi to fight the Emperor and kill him. I am kind of getting sick of more and more returning Jedis. I thought Carl Kestis was going to die in the next game, because you can't have Jedi just popping up everywhere. I mean, Ahsoka, I can forgive that because she's a great character, but Carl Kestis, no. Okay, I'm really done. Okay, he has to die at some point. If he doesn't, it's breaking more canon. I get it, Disney doesn't respect canon, but come on, enough's enough. Stop making so many Jedi survive. It was supposed to be a fucking purge. It was supposed to be Obi-Wan training the last Jedi to fight Vader. So, let's just not start this crap. So Boba Fett fixes the ship with a mechanic. They make it into this excellent looking ship. I mean, it does look really epic. And Mando takes it for its maiden flight. We had this little pod racing scene with it. It does sound a bit like a pod racer. And there was just a lot of epic scenes of it flying around. Mando gets pulled over by the New Republic. He then just he then speeds away from them, gets away from them, gets back to the mechanic's place, and then he meets up with Shran, who offers him a deal to join Boba Fett's fight against the Pikes, and he agrees to do it for free. But after he goes to see Grogu to give him a gift that he has from the Forger, and I think it's I don't know, it could be lightsaber parts or it could be a different type of gift, but yeah, that's how the episode ends. It was a great episode. I really did enjoy it. I love the fact we got prequel stuff in there. Problem is, they have more respect for Mando than they do for Boba Fett. That's literally my only problem with this episode. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And do comment below if you like the episode or dislike the episode. And that's it. Hail the Founder Menace. Long live CG and fuck SWs. Bye.